The maintenance bay of the orbital station hummed with the usual symphony of hydraulic lifts and power tools. Kirsten wiped the grease from her hands, squinting at the undercarriage of her modified Sparrow-class courier ship. She had been experiencing minor power fluctuations for weeks, nothing critical, but enough to warrant a thorough inspection before her next run to the outer colonies. That's when she saw it at a small, obsidian-black device no larger than her thumb, magnetically clamped to the fuel relay junction. Its surface shimmered with an iridescent quality that screamed alien technology. Kirsten's blood ran cold. In 15 years of piloting through contested space, she had learned one unshakable rule. If you found something you didn't put there, someone was watching. She carefully detached the tracker, her mind racing through possibilities. Pirates? Corporate espionage? Or worse, the Kresh Dominion. Those chittering insectoid bastards who had been probing human space for the last decade, testing boundaries, studying weaknesses. Alexander, she called out, her voice echoing across the bay. Get your analytical ass over here. Her engineer and occasional partner in questionable decisions appeared from behind a stack of cargo containers, his dark hair disheveled from working in tight spaces. Alexander had a gift for reverse engineering alien tech, a talent that had saved their lives more than once that he examined the device with practiced eyes, running a portable scanner over its surface. Kresh design, definitely. Fourth-generation tracking tech. This thing has been broadcasting your location, routes, cargo manifests, everything. How long? Kirsten demanded. Based on the power cell degradation? At least 6 months. 6 months. Kirsten felt her jaw tighten. Every run she'd made, every client, every safe house, all compromised. But instead of panic, a dangerous smile crept across her face. Humanity hadn't survived first contact with hostile species by playing defense. I have an idea, she said, and you're going to call it insane. Alexander raised an eyebrow. I'm listening. 3 days later, Kirsten's plan was in motion. She had attached the tracker to an automated mining drone scheduled for a 6-month survey mission to Mars. The Kresh would follow their precious signal all the way to the Red Planet, expecting to find her ship loaded with whatever they thought was worth hunting. Instead, they'd find rocks and disappointment. The mining drone departed on schedule. Kirsten and Alexander celebrated with cheap whiskey in the station's grimy cantina, toasting to humanity's favorite pastime, pissing off aliens. The holocall came exactly 17 hours later. Kirsten was in her quarters, reviewing shipping contracts, when her console erupted with an incoming transmission. The priority code made her stomach drop. It was routed through military encryption channels, the kind reserved for diplomatic emergencies or declarations of war. She accepted the call. The holographic projection flickered to life, and Kirsten found herself staring at something that would haunt her nightmares for years to come. The Kresh commander was massive, easily 8 feet tall even in its hunched posture. Its exoskeleton gleamed a deep purple-black, and its multiple compound eyes reflected the light like shattered glass. But it was the mandibles that transfixed her. They clicked and twitched with barely contained fury, flanking a mouth filled with serrated ridges. Human, the creature hissed through its translator, the device struggling to render its native language into something comprehensible. You dare mock the Dominion. Kirsten forced herself to remain calm, leaning back in her chair with false confidence. I dare a lot of things. You want to be more specific. The Kresh commander's mandibles snapped together with a sound like breaking bone. We have tracked your vessel to the 4th planet. We have seen your deception. This insult will not be forgotten. Here it was, the moment that would define everything. Kirsten could apologize, grovel, maybe buy herself some time. Or she could do what humans did best. You put a tracker on my ship, she said coldly. In human space. Without permission. That's not just rude. It's an act of aggression. So I sent your little spy toy on a vacation. If you don't like it, maybe don't violate sovereign territory. The alien's entire body seemed to vibrate with rage. You are one small human. Your ship is insignificant. Your species is barely space-capable. You have no idea what forces you provoke. Alexander had entered the room, drawn by the sound of the transmission. He stood behind Kirsten, arms crossed, his expression hard. See, that's where you're wrong, Kirsten continued, her voice steady despite her hammering heart. You've been watching me for 6 months. You think you know humans? Let me educate you. We're the species that looked at the vacuum of space and said, let's live there. We're the primates who turn nuclear fission into power plants instead of just weapons. And when something threatens us, we don't hide. We don't run. We adapt. We innovate. And we make damn sure the other guy regrets starting the fight. The crash commander leaned closer to its recorder, and Kirsten could smell something acrid and chemical through the holographic feed. Pheromones, probably, signaling aggression. Your bravado is noted, human. But bravado does not deflect plasma cannons. It does not shield against invasion fleets. You have made yourself visible to the Dominion. We will remember your name. We will remember your ship. And when the harvest comes, and it will come, we will remember this conversation. The transmission cut out abruptly, leaving Kirsten and Alexander in sudden silence. Well, Alexander said after a long moment, that could have gone better. Kirsten stood, her legs surprisingly steady. She walked to the viewport and stared out at the stars, at the infinite darkness punctuated by distant lights. Somewhere out there, the Kresh were planning, strategizing, preparing. Get on the secure line to colonial defense, she said quietly. Tell them we need to talk. Tell them the Kresh aren't just probing anymore. They're preparing for something bigger. And tell them we have approximately 6 months to get ready, because that's when their fleet realizes they've been chasing a mining drone to Mars. Alexander nodded and moved to the communications console. As he began encoding the transmission, Kirsten allowed herself one final moment of doubt before pushing it aside. She had just poked the hornet's nest, maybe doomed herself, maybe started a war, but she had also just given humanity a warning. 6 months of preparation time. 6 months to rally, to arm, to unite. The Kresh had made a mistake. They had assumed humans would cower when discovered, would beg for mercy when confronted. They didn't understand the fundamental truth about her species, the thing that had carried them from cave dwellers to starfarers. Humanity didn't just survive threats, they weaponized them. And now, somewhere between Earth and Mars, a countdown had begun. When it reached 0, the galaxy would learn what happened when you underestimated the descendants of Earth. Kirsten smiled grimly at her reflection in the viewport. Come and get me, you chittering bastards. Let's see who's still standing when the smoke clears. The stars offered no answer, but they didn't need to. The message had been sent. The gauntlet had been thrown. And humanity, fuck yeah, was ready for whatever came next. Yendi.